Yo, what up, y'all? Listen, man, I am back with another video, right? And we have another roadmap. We have another guide. But this time, we're going to talk about me. We're going to talk about my personal journey when it comes to credit cards, right? And I'm going to give you guys the exact time span on when I actually started really getting credit cards, man. And you're going to see each card that I have gotten in specific order. I've been building credit for over 9 years, so we're gonna start right now. The first credit card I had got a student card from Discover. I got a student credit card. Was my first credit card from Discover, right? In 2013. So this was the year I got my first card. Now, with Discover, I was in school, so I had got approved for, I believe, an $800 limit in 2013. I was around like 21, right? But when I first applied for the card, mind you, I didn't have any credit whatsoever. So when I first applied for the card, they actually denied me. Like I had got a response online that said you're not approved, right? So I was like, oh man, I just was trying to apply to my first credit card. After being super scared to do so, like if you read the ebook, if you read the book, I talk about the fear that we had for money, and like I wasn't trying to apply for no credit cards, right? But I ended up applying because I started learning about credit like a year before that, right? So I started learning about it, educating myself a little bit. So I applied for the Discover card. I end up getting approved. 2013, I'm 21. Boom. I get the Discover card. I do not use the Discover card. I don't use this card for like 4 months. Because mind you, I'm still thinking like, I'm still like, I don't know, like credit, you know what I'm saying? Like people be saying like don't be using your credit, right? That's exactly what I've heard. Like don't be using no credit. So I get the Discover card. My second card, right? And we're going double back. This card right here is actually my highest limit. That same card I was scared to get is my highest limit right now. I'm gonna tell y'all that at the end. My second card. This is how scared. Y'all gotta listen to me. This is how scared of credit I was. Even though I started learning after a couple years, right? It's 2013. I started learning, right? I get a Capital One card in 2017. 2017. That's a 4-year difference. That's 4 years apart that it took me to get my second card. 4 years apart, right? So next, so then I got two cards, right? But also, see the thing about it is this, and I'm gonna go back to Discover real quick. Remember, I got the Discover card from 2013, but as I have this Discover card, the limit is increasing every year too, right? The limit is literally increasing every year. So although I had one credit card, the limit was growing every year. It was growing like by thousands and doubling, right? And remember, it started at like $800. I got the first increase within 6 months. So I get the Capital One card. So now I'm more comfortable with credit, right? I'm starting to get increases. I'm starting to use credit. Boom. A few years later, now I'm really understanding credit. I get a Capital One card, 2017. After the Capital One card, I get an Amex card, 2019. That's 2 years later, right? Now remember, then the Capital One, they started me off with a couple thousand, right? Because now at this point, I done already built my limits up with Discover, and then now, and I built my history up. The same things I tell y'all, I built the history up, the limit up, and then now Capital One, they got some trust in me, they got some faith in me, so I get the Capital One, then I go to Amex, right? I go to Amex in 2019. 2020, now at this point y'all can see I got 3 credit lines. I'm comfortable with credit, right? But the only reason why I became so hesitant to begin with was because of the things that I've heard prior to, and I didn't know for myself. I didn't experience for myself. So I go with Chase. You know what I mean? So now at this point, you gotta remember. Now I'm going with all the big banks. Even Discover is a big bank, but now I'm getting all the big banks, right? And I didn't go to secure route. All these is unsecured cards. I didn't go to secure route because I already built the score with this positive account back in 2013, and it was a student card. So if you have a student in college, you can't get them to discover its student card, right? It was a student card. So it's designed specifically for students. I get the Amex, I get the Chase in 2020, and then I get Citi, right? I get Citi in 2021 the next year. So as you can see, each year after that, I get another card. I get Citi, and then I get another one. So now the rest of the cards on the board, the rest of the cards on this side of the board is pretty much me just doubling back because I like the company, right? So I went back to Capital One again. Then I went back to Citi again, right? And then I went back to Discover again, right? And then here, Built is a Wells Fargo card. So I decided to go with somebody new, and I went with Wells Fargo. That's my latest card right there, right? But I just doubled back, right? I doubled back to Capital One after 2021. I went up 2021. Citibank 2000, and these is 2022s. Discover and Citi. That's 2022 cards, right? So this is my whole situation. So I got about and then people say, well, how many credit cards did you have? It depends. Go back to what I said in the very beginning. How comfortable you are with credit. When I became, you gotta understand, 2013 to 2017, that's a 4-year time span, right? I'm learning about credit, I'm educating myself about credit, but I'm still not that secure because I'm not getting all these credit cards that you see here. You know why? Because I was educated and then I started to be more comfortable. But this gap you see right here, to answer your question, is what are you comfortable with? What is your comfortability level? You know what I'm saying? Don't listen to people telling you what you should do for you because they not in your financial situation. They not in your wallet. They not in your shoes. So how they gonna tell you 100% what you should do for you when it come to you? Now listen, I wanted to give y'all my personal situation, but I also wanted to show you and really just explain and harp on the fact that I was like, I'm telling you, I wasn't like in the game for real, you know? And you still gotta be smart in the game. You can't just be sloppy. But I wasn't in the game for real, even though I learned about credit at a super young age. Even though I started learning, y'all, so young, I just, I wasn't, I wasn't in the game. I wasn't in the game. And I wasn't in the game because I was scared. But listen, the last point I made was that I doubled back, right? I doubled back to a lot of the banks that I already had, which was Capital One, doubled back to Citi, doubled back to Discover, and I doubled back for a few reasons. I'm gonna tell you why I doubled back, and I'm gonna end this video. I doubled back. The double back is for a few reasons. With all of the companies, is generosity with their limits, how much they give you on the limit, right? Also, customer service is big for me. Customer service is a big one for me. And not just necessarily being nice, but being a good assistant, like helping me, right? And then also, I I double back. Really, I double back also because of the lender. You know what I mean? The type of lender it is. And that's why earlier I mentioned big banks, the type of lender that it is. Now remember, I told y'all before this in the start of the video,